I have the Cleveland Cavaliers here. The three things I have here are more developments from Mobley and Garland. I think one of the biggest things, especially Garland, he's shown that he can be a starting caliber point guard. He can stand his own next to Donovan Mitchell. I think the biggest one is Mobley because he is a guy that I think some people expect him to be a little bit further on at this point in his career than he is right now. He's still very young, still has plenty of time to get better and work on, whatever he does. But he needs to take a major leap this year. He needs to have an all-star caliber season. We saw some flashes, throughout the season and the postseason last year, but they really need to, make Mobley a consistent part of the offense. And, Donovan Mitchell is your number one, but Mobley needs to take that next step, and hopefully he can step into that number two role because he's an important part of their future and their success. So expect a big season out of him. Staying healthy, they had a handful of injuries all of last year. Donovan Mitchell missing the rest of the playoffs last year against the Celtics. If Donovan Mitchell isn't healthy, they're not winning anything. They could put together a really good team around him, but if he's not out there with them, they don't go that far. And staying with Mitchell, I think if the Cavaliers want to be a championship team, he needs to be an MVP. I'm not saying he has to be. I say he has to be an MVP. He needs to be in contention to win MVP. He doesn't have to win it, but he needs to have an MVP.
Top 10 guy. Top 10
minimum. I'd say even top 5. I think he's capable of it. I think he really is capable of it in the Eastern Conference as well. I think he can be a leader. In the past, I've kind of been harsh on him, saying I don't think he can lead a team, this and that. I think he has it in him. With those other guys stepping up around him like Mobley and Garland, and Mitchell having his best season, I think that's the best chance they have of winning a championship.
Yeah, I'm a start from the bottom up here. I think Donovan Mitchell definitely is the key to everything that they do, right? He decided to re-up with them. He decided to re-sign, stay there a few more extra years, even though everybody anticipated he'd want to go to New York or go to Brooklyn or whatever. So You're the guy. Okay, cool. Show us what you got then. You're not the king, but we got to see if you could be somewhat even close to what the king had. So the keys are yours. So definitely agree with that. Staying healthy is – that could be a point for every single team that was bitten by the bug, right? It's imperative that if you guys want to have some type of shot out east to dethrone the Celtics, take out the Knicks, take out the Sixers or whatever, you got to come with your best. So if you don't have Jared Allen, if you don't have Evan Mobley ready, if you don't have Darius Garland, you're not going anywhere. So that's huge. And yeah, more developments for Mobley and Garland. I saved this for last for a reason, because I think this is what I'm going to really rant on a little bit. I am very disappointed with the types of steps that we've seen out of Evan Mobley, or lack thereof probably is a better term. Mainly because this is the guy coming out of the draft where everybody's like, oh yeah, he's a less vocal Kevin Garnett. And at the time I was like, where the hell, what are you guys watching?
Where's that comparison coming from?
I get it. It's every lengthy defender that could block shots and possibly guard multiple positions. They dubbed them the next KG from that 4 or 5 spot. And they did the same thing to Anthony Davis, but he did a lot better of a job living up to that standard than what we've seen at Mobley at this point in his career. So that's the guy I'm really disappointed on. Darius Garland. This was a guy that I could still possibly see being traded, because apparently if Donovan Mitchell re-signed before the offseason, he was supposed to get traded, right? Rich Paul was going to try to get him out of Cleveland. So is that still a thing, or you really think you can't play with Donovan Mitchell, or are you the problem? Right. Develop your game to where it makes sense to play with another ball-dominant star. And in today's NBA, there's not a lot of teams that you can go to where there's not going to be guys that also have the ball in their hands a lot. So it's either you be better than what Donovan Mitchell is, or you get better in your role and be that secondary ball handler. And I think the latter would be easier for him to do.